Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
Sure.
children of all ages, I'm Sankaty4, and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity, where, well, we're in a bit of a bind at the moment, because we need to do a bit of levelling up, and we need to do a bit of chatting. So, yeah, I think today we're going to start off with a little bit of a chat with some of our team members, and then we'll see how much time we've got left, whether we go and try a different mission or just do a little bit of fighting. We shall see. So we've got Dorrance. He needs talking to because, well, we still need to get to know him. Hopefully he will talk. And we've got, the grieving mother to talk to. So, okay, let's just switch them over. No, I don't want to retrain. I want, excuse me, just for now, let's get rid of Alof.
Farewell.
Yes, and the grieving mother can come in for a moment. Okay, that was a bit dramatic, but fine. Right. Grieving mother, hello. Let's have a chat to you.
Your mind comes bearing questions, Watcher.
Yes, it does. Okay, can you tell me about the birthing bell?
The birthing bell. It is where I could draw new souls into the world. I recall some of the memory of it through what you have seen, but not all.
Okay, yeah. What happened with Hollowborn?
The curse.
There's a slight chill between the two of you. A current of emotions. The next thoughts come slowly, almost frightened into your mind, like terrified children, blanketed with a mother's fear.
You speak of the curse that fell upon the children. This curse that has fallen on this country.
I only know that is a scourge upon every hearth in the Drywood, and one that threatens to tear this country asunder. Okay, do you know where the birthing bell is? It lies deep in the great forests of the Drywood, at the borders of Glathanian lands. Surrounding it, barely a town, not one you would find on any map, but it held an important place for those there, even if we were far from the beaten track. Small families, tied like a knot, joined at the wrists in mind, in thought, all were welcome, had a purpose. Okay. Not really got much out of you there, but maybe later on. Okay. Have you got anything you want to say? Oh, no, I don't want you to leave.
If doubts and curiosity plague you, you're skidding your knuckles on the wrong door.
No, that's not what I wanted, so... Okay, why were we supposed to meet? The why of it is you're a watcher. A watcher runs two roads of why for me. It's more of a matter of what. There was a time when I wouldn't have spared a thought for your words or even bothered with you. But now, seeking out watchers is what I do, to put the truth to them, see which are the two ways they bend. What type of truth are you on about? Either you're a dry field in need of harvest burning, or you're lost in darkness. Either way, you can see it differently from others. I can tell by the way you notice the staff first off. Not many can see it at first, nor the etching or the flame, but your eyes trace the path that I could see. Okay, so which are you? The day we don't trade that question back and forth is the day our paths no longer need to be joined. And the trial is done. Okay, you don't know either then. You know this nation is diseased. Don't need to be a watcher to see it in the children, the politics, the men that stalk the roads with knives in hand and murder in their eyes. This land needs life again, new seeds, planted in the burned soil. And something tells me you can see the path to making that future happen. Watcher, your kind always does. So then we need to make sure you see truly now. This nation, its peoples, don't need any more lies blind them, nor do I. You test a truth, you don't blindly accept it. Sharing the road, one truth to match another, matching each other's pace, keeping the rhythm. Other priests can keep their teachings and rantings. For my faith, my teachings, sharing the road is simple, hard truth. And when you knock one truth against the leg of another, why both legs stand firm. But now, if you strike a lie at the knee with the same force, why you make a cripple with but one leg to stand on. Okay, and yep, you know what? You're not going to find my truth lacking. Because the truth is I have no idea still what I am doing. The road is young, so are your words. The truth will win out. Keep pace and we'll see.
The cost of troubling me seems to worry you little.
Okay, let's find out a bit more about the history.
That's a curse that runs deeper. It's a godhammer of a different sort. And like the godhammer, it was made by men's hands.
All things have a price, left unchecked, faithless virtue. It leaves marks on souls until souls don't have the strength to enter the bodies. Animansters, ciphers, all who play games with the fabric of souls are to blame. Even watchers can do the same. Some simply watch, others try to weave souls, guide them as surely as wadens across the dew. That is why I correct the hollowborn when I find them, and the ones whose hands have led to this being spilled on the ground. I'm going to regret asking this, but yes, how do you correct the hollowborn?
There are fewer souls. There are more vessels. It is simply equaling of the process.
Yeah, I was dreading that was the answer. Okay, so yeah, it doesn't bother you end them.
I feel more remorse in putting down a slathering hound. A wict? Less than a mongrel in its misery. Murder is a kindness, not a crime. Always has been. I would sooner put the blade to those who are to blame instead. If any spirits should be punished, it's theirs.
Okay, and yeah, who do you think's to blame? The fields of the Dyewood are filled with weakness, right for those that play with souls and minds. Animancers and their kind, watchers too. They bear more of the burden than the victims and more of the punishment. Every year has seen a new crime, the Saints' Walk, the Hollowborn, and the Salvation. There are few who can shape a soul in such fashion, and any watcher, any true watcher born in Dyewood, would be able to see the crime even if they did not cause it. Silence itself is damning. Okay, and yeah, why don't you end me there?
Murder you? I would not grant you any of them. The mercy I grant the Hollowborn. You would not be deserving of it. Murder is an old word. Mercy is letting a soul fly free to the next body. True punishment? Ruining someone to their soul. Crack their spirit like you would crack their skulls with a staff. Beat them. Hurt them in mind and body. So their souls become shards. but you leave it inside the vessel, like a bag of glass, to either choke on it or pass it through their bloody stool. Then, leave it in the body to think on it, like planting a new field with the right seed.
Okay, why am I starting to get the feeling Durrance isn't the nice, lovey-dovey healer that we thought he was gonna be?
Many marks may I make upon your flesh, but flame leaves marks that cannot heal. Magran doctrine dictates true punishment is one that remains in memory, in the soul, in the flesh. Even should the victims die, slowly or swift, sometimes by their own hand afterwards, the lesson lingers, burned in their flesh.
Yeah, someone tells me he's gone off the dark side.
Have you seen a man branded by flame? He remembers it always, in every waking movement. It is a lesson writ in the only ink and vellum that matters: blood and flesh. One can burn the soul as well. It is an art, and I do not take pleasure in it. But there is more at stake here than forgiveness. Many of Aethys' faith were punished in the purges following the Saints' War. And the ones that harmed children, they suffered worse. We did what must be done. Wherever they were rooted out, their souls reclaimed. And if they couldn't be reclaimed, we ensured they would never inhabit another body.
Okay. Right. Fine. Jeez, okay. I know we wanted to find out more about you, but I'm starting to regret it. Okay.
I suspect the answers will seed more questions.
Yeah, probably, but yeah, can you tell me about Magran then? You know her, you must. She's a many-headed biatch. Okay, what are your views?
She's a goddess, as fickle as they come. And with all the failings you'd expect of an empress and a whore. Too many eyes, too many wants, too much to hold on to. That's the failing of a god. More aspects than words to describe her, like most of them. A god with many nations to oversee, only serves to spread herself too thin.
Although flame rarely crosses twice, so perhaps that it is the only truth she embraces. Who knows gods get greedy. When it comes to fire, fire is a god's hunger. War transforms, fire consumes, trials purify. Warfare, fire, consuming, purification, and most of all, transforming. Trials as well, but all things are put to the test anyway. A trial can consume, purify, transform. They are all linked, although it is heart is the flame, and the flame is what matters. It is the source of all things. Guess they should have started with that. Any fool around a campfire knows that. Yes, without flames, fire, we would have little progress in the dark. To hear some of the inner fires tell it around the hearth and the bellows, even in the halls of Ashfall, you'd think that fire brought life to man, and the fire was Magran. Some of the older texts say she rubbed her hands together and they burst into flames, or another god shafted her like a poker. Mine is only one sight among many, but here's one. I can speak to how the losing side sees her, and that should tell you enough. Let me speak to what an admiral sees. Okay, well, I'm not one of them, so I can't answer that one myself. They have a proper, polite translation for her. excellence in war, tactical discipline. That's why they lost the flipping colony, of course. They were properly still quoting that while we had them bent across the decks. All their guns and cannons are fine, but useless when your staff is crackling light into their skulls, dispensing red gifts left and right. They call that elevation, divine awareness. Those words are as welcome as poop on one's boot, and that's all they took back with them while they were running. A lesson learned at the wrong time. Almost feel a pang of sympathy for them. Almost. The title of a god isn't knowing a god, adhering to word rather than walking the path, testing yourself in the heart of it. Walk until the words are stripped away and you feel it burning in your heart. That is the lesson. That and the politeness, that pretty adherence to the word of scripture as they saw it, that burned their ships, scarred them, kept them running throughout the direwolf campaign. Divine awareness, there's no true faith in wanting to be tested. The best in battle have already pooped themselves plenty, poop themselves until they're dry and can focus on the killing. Okay.
I suspect the answers will seed more questions.
Not really, because it looks like we've asked everything, so okay. And that didn't update anything. Okay.
Sure.
Well, we did get a bit of information, but... Right. Maybe we'll wait a little bit. But, yeah, there's, there's still a fair bit that we can't get on with. Endless path, we're not strong enough. I still can't find where them bloody cliffs are. We tried the conflict, but we were under-leveled. Yeah. I don't know what sort of army we've got, so... Okay. Can't do the dream, and... Yeah, can't do that one either. So... We've only really got one left we can actually do, and that's question the Animancers about the suspicious activity. So... Let's head back into town and see what they've got to say for themselves. Oh, okay. We are under attack. Goodbye. This was just meant to be... Oh, more assassins. Okay. That's fine, because that means experience. Right. Everybody into position, please. We haven't really got the team set up as I want them, but... You know what? Screw it. Let's put... You know what? Yeah. Let's just put a plague on you.
Ready, Watcher.
Yeah, you just start firing and send your wolf in. You can zap them all. That would be nice. Rage.
Your thoughts must flow deeply indeed.
Yes, and... You know what? Let's use Puppet Master on... you.
Just say the word.
And... just get in there and fight. Okay. Okay, okay, right.
Yeah?
You are... ready to go. In fact, you know what? Attack that one up there. You can just get in there, start fighting.
Just say the word.
Yeah, just attack. That's all we can do for now. And you know what? Put a shield of protection up there. That'll do nice. And dancing bolts on the three of you. Them kick in. Lovely.
Yeah.
That one's dead. You attack. That's it. Just get in there and keep going. Heal for me, please. And you might as well wolf. There we go. So, that one off.
Let's
Up there and there.
Let's go.
Everybody down here and wolf. Right. Oh, not quite.
Let's go.
There we go. Everybody's down. Thank you. Ooh, 5 silver. Very nice. And is that another one? Yes. Okay. Okay. Got quite a bit of money out of that fight, so not going to argue too much. Okay. Now, can we get inside, please, and have a chat with people? I'll admit, I can't remember who it is I need to speak to, so I guess we'll just have to try and see if anyone's got a name that's, you know, not golden. Okay, and ooh, I can take you. Tragedy. Okay, fine. But, yeah. We'll read that, never probably. And, okay, just some poetry. Fine. Hey, I'm just going to grab all the books because might as well. Animancers.
Welcome.
Okay. We've got something. Yes, okay. Yes, has anything unusual or suspicious been happening? Definitely not here. We can't be scaring off visitors and potential clients. Downstairs is where the more eccentric research is done. I check with the animancers there. Okay. Well, looks like we're going back down to the lower levels then. I'm pretty sure we went to the lower levels last time we were here, but you know what? It was that long ago, I have completely and utterly forgotten. Definitely been down here because we were in this room if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because we spoke to you, didn't we? Oh, okay. I just clicked on a chest to see what was in it, and okay. In the corner of the lab rests a large trunk. It seems to likely contain something important, if only by virtue of its size. Okay, examine it. The lacquer dusks on the trunk's surface and the long scratches on the floor suggest the trunk is frequently used and moved throughout the lab despite its size. Deep yet narrow gouges score the wood at the end of the trunk. They look like claw marks. Okay, open it. It's too sturdy to break and the mechanism looks too complicated to pick. Okay, well, we'll leave it alone for now then. Okay, and yeah. Thought I saw something here. I'm not nicking his money yet, but I'm not ruling it out either. The canine host was listless and unresponsive, but it was determined that it was simply the implanted feline soul. Urine resulted in vigorous stimulation. No idea what any of that means. An animancer scribbles feverishly on parchment while his free hand dances through the air, counting off unseen objects. His lips move in silence. As your shadow falls over his scroll, he looks up with you with mingled perplexity and irritation.
Hail, traveler.
Okay. Yes, what is it you're working on? What's a witch? A hollowborn who's received a transplanted animal soul during infancy. One of Animancy's early efforts to cure it, if not a successful one. They show signs of developmental abnormalities throughout the childhood, but when they reach adolescence, they become aggressive, feral, but still victims in need of care. Yeah, it's a bit of an odd situation. We Animancers were trying to do something about the crisis, better than letting it swallow a generation of children. And despite the controversy, it only went so far because at first it seemed to work. People called it the salvation. Children that had never been responsive to any kind of stimuli suddenly seemed to be aware of the surroundings of their families. The complications don't begin until puberty, but that's when the incompatibilities between body and soul take shape. Children become violent, ravenous, but be paid dearly for our mistake. I promise you, angry mobs hunted down Animancers and burned down their homes, with them still inside, often as not. A grotesque manipulation, a desperate solution for desperate problem, and the parents were heartbroken, betrayed. But it was important to try something, was it not? To bring hope even for a little while. People took to calling it the cruel salvation, and many still loathe us for it, but we wanted to stop it as much as anyone. The public begged for our help, and we did the best we could. I still don't know if that absolves us. Okay, yes. And why do you study witches? What kind of question is that? Just think of all the families that could be healed, the lives that could be restored. What could be more important? Animancy has the answer, I know it. It's simply a matter of working it out. Such pain and such determination. Okay, and yes. Do you know who's an expert on awakenings? Villian woman studies them. You should talk to her. Okay. You must be joking. This is sanitarium. Nothing is unusual down here. Although now I think of it, the patient seems to be more agitated lately, but their Cadmain Azos responsibility, not mine. Okay. Yeah, I'll be on my way. Okay, we've got a bit of an update. Good. It's about time we had an update on something. Okay, so, yeah, look for Cadman and see what they've got to say for themselves.
As promised.
Oh, okay. Just lockpicked through a chest and we've got some patient records. Okay. Subject is female, mid-40s, awakened to a past life as a serial murderer, which now frequently emerges as the soul's dominant personality. Subject vacillate between violence and depression resulting from guilt of past deeds. Weak candidate for present research. Okay. Male, early 30s, powers of speech absent, presumably as a result of the over-fragmentation of his soul. As such, he's the ideal subject for present research. However, experimentation has caused severe pain and induced panic, and I have had to enlist the aid of guards in transporting him for more recent procedures. Okay, watch out for Graham then. He's not going to be too happy. Male, mid-20s, acute desolation and paranoid delusions, causing anger and extreme violence, dangers of working with the subject, possible of further use in present research. And finally, male, 17, admitted for episodes of catatonia, followed by occasional violent outbursts. Initial analysis of soul revealed severe fragmentation and essence deficiency. Said deficiency all but eliminates the possibility of utilizing the subject. Okay. Okay, well, that's just answered, yeah. More questions, fine. Brickley.
Hail and well met.
Okay, yeah, what do you do here? I help Master Azo set up and clean his equipment. I keep his office organised since he's too busy. Okay, what about awakenings? There's a visiting scholar here named Bella. She claims to know about them. Okay, we'll look for Belle in a bit. And... okay. What are you hiding? A note. Okay. I require more copper tubing for my next experiment. Do not requesting it from the Sanctum stores. I don't have time to deal with the questions. Okay. And looking at, actually that was quite big, that map. Yeah, there's something down here. So we'll look at it in a minute, but I've got another door. Hello. Okay. Oh, a minute. There is something. Dented and claw marks. Okay. Right. Question is, are the guards going to let me through or... nope, because I need a key. Okay. I thought I'd be taking orders from the statue. If you're here as a client, you'll want to be talking to an announcer, not me. Okay, so... where is this... yeah, Zao person? There's Belle anyway, but I don't think we can talk to Belle. Yeah, we've done that one. That's fine. Yes, I couldn't find Azo, so I'm assuming it might be behind the door. But yes, records that may be running some questionable experiments. He's in charge of patient welfare. He's not authorized to run any experiments. I'm disappointed. I'd hoped he would be the one to guide your inquiry. He'll be in his office or in the patient ward. I'm granting you access so you can find him. No doubt you will wish to speak to him further, and I, for one, am curious of what he will say. Be careful, there are a few dangerous cases. I'd also ask that you do your best not to agitate the patients. Okay. So, okay, North Ward. As I say, I'm guessing that is... ooh, okay, apparently I've already completed that one. There we go. Thank you. I will... okay. Right, be very careful. You must be visiting somebody. A friendly visit, I hope. Yes, why are you here? Let's be nice first. I don't want to say, you'll think less of me. Oh, when you blush it brings out the colour of your eyes. Okay, yeah, let's flirt a little bit. Her blush deepens, she ducks her head forward to bury her face beneath her hair. These last few years haven't been kind to me. They haven't been kind to anyone. I try not to think of it as personal. I lost my husband and both boys in the war. My daughter, the legacy took her before she was even mine. I made do. What else can you do? I moved into a tiny place, got by mending clothes, and on the kindness of strangers when I had to. but I was surviving and the gods were watching over me. I could live with that. Then one day, no one comes in, wants this fancy gown fix, gorgeous thing, this shade of blue I'd never seen before, only I looked at it and it reminded me of something. I had what they called an awakening. I remember being a noble woman myself in another life, people doting over me, men doting over me, the best food, the most beautiful home, all the things you'd never dare to dream of, they were mine. It was poison, knowing that. All those things I had, I'll never have in this life. It did something to me. My food started to taste rotten. The walls in my room seemed to close in. I stopped being able to sleep in my bed. So I came here. It was that, or break into an estate and start ordering servants around. Seemed like such a silly thing to worry about. You don't have to tell me, but I can't get past it and start to wonder. Did the gods choose this life for me? And if so, what thing must I have done to deserve it? Yeah, nobody deserves to go through what you're going through. I hope not. I can't even imagine the monster who deserves what half the patients here go through every day. Okay, well, in that case, yeah, have any of the other patients been acting unusual? Batix, who relives a murder she committed more than 5 lifetimes ago. Ironman, who say only has half a soul and he was found collecting the faces of others because he believed his own to be a false one. Graham, he speaks in a language no one understands and wails at night. Yet not the normal behaviour, something different. Nothing they didn't volunteer for. Azo let us know that a number of patients in the North Ward had volunteered for new therapy and will be escorted to his lab. The North Ward has our most troubled cases. I'm glad some of them have chosen to get help. It seemed to me it's gotten quieter over there since it started. It's Graham. I see them taking in the most. He struggles, but he's always was a bit of a wild one. Okay, can I get to the North Ward? They like to keep them separate. I don't know that I've ever seen the guards allow a visitor. Just Master Azo. You might ask him. He's sympathetic. Okay, what do you know about him? I like him. Many animals could care less about their patients. Look at us like vermin for their experiments. But Azo treats us like humans. Even the very sick. You can tell he does this to help people. He's helped me understand a great deal about myself. And I know he's done the same for others. It's too bad what they did to him. He hides it well, but I know he's still affected. Okay, what happened? They don't like to talk about it, but there was an accident. He was said to be one of the brightest. That was his reputation, and that was what brought me to seek treatment. People say it was ego that drove him to try and solve the legacy, but that's hogwash. Even if he was a bit of a showman, he loves his homeland. He thought he could help. He wasn't one to speak of his work. Suspect his colleagues might have tried to steal it. But he told me once that he had figured out a way to create a soul. Not so exactly, mind you. How did he put it? A proxy, I think he called it. Had some machine that drew energy out of the ether. Can you imagine? The point is, it was going to help. It was going to make Hollowborn into something easier to love and care for. God knows that's something we need. Do you know what they call those empty babies over in the gift? Nope. They call them boys because so many of them are found floating face down in the water. The mad times. Evils that magnify tragedies. This is what we must stop. Anyway, Azo scheduled a public demonstration of his works in Copper Lane. He's so excited. And then the next day he was locked in his office, turning away visitors. I heard, and he stopped seeing patients. I don't know exactly what happened, and I don't have the heart to ask him. but I'm glad they let him treat people again. Okay, where is he? Have you checked the lab? It shares a wall with his office. He's been spending his time there. Okay, well, you were a lot of help. I'm glad you were stood right there. Okay, you know what? I've done a lot of gabbing today. And I've done a lot of walking around looking for stuff that wasn't actually there. So, I'm going to end it there today, and next time we will keep looking for Azo. I have a chat with a few more people down here, hopefully not get into any fights, and maybe we can figure out what's going on. So, I hope you join me back here next time for that. But in the meantime, I've been Sank84. This has been Pillars of Eternity. Thank you so much for joining me. Look after each other. And until next time, goodbye.